Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel at Kate Chris Limited.
Today we're in Nairobi County.
Yeah, you know, we started with Nyeri County, then we went to Nakuru. Here we are at the heart of Nairobi. And this place has a lot of memories for us.
Yes.
Can you tell the guys what I mean by that?
This place is where we met actually. You know, we've shared our story before. We met at an event. He was the one organizing the event, then I was the model. And it happened at the Sarit Centre, the old one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we met here, we were doing Samantha Bridal. She was a model, I was a guy producing the event for Samantha Bridal.
We keep time, we are disciplined, the people we work with under WCK, the suppliers that we bring on board are always very, very, very professional.
In 2020, here we are. They've decided to come up with one of the biggest event venues. So we are here to review it.
So once you drive in, of course they have the sanitation measures in place, given that we're living in COVID times. You sanitize, you go through security check, then you get to be ushered in through the mall. There are shops, so you go within, shopping around first, then you come to the exhibition house.
And the shopping is in like 2-3 levels. So you know where you go for a conference, and the conference is so tight, you flew in the other day and straight into your hotel, and the hotels are within, and then you need to shop for something. Maybe you need to shop for a gift, because immediately the conference ends, or the event or the concert that you guys were doing, you need to hit the road straight, Mombasa Road, all the way to the airport. So the reason why we call it a city within a city is because of exactly that. They have food courts, they have shopping malls, I think they have gyms. A gym that's coming up.
Yes.
What else did you notice?
So I like the fact that they have smaller meeting rooms. They have like 4 small meeting rooms, which are named after Kenyan forests, by the way. And we have one that can accommodate, now with the new measures, of course now they can accommodate half the capacity, but we have one that can accommodate 50, 30, so it depends with your numbers.
So the one thing I noticed with the rooms is, I'm a technical person, so these are the things. So each room has a projector, and it's automatic, of course, you press and it comes down. With the COVID-19 guidelines now, as you can see, they are able to set up the room with social distancing, factoring social distancing. The room is also equipped with audio, meaning when you're playing your video clips during the conference, even if it's a Zoom meeting, you're hearing the sound and you're also visualizing.
And the rooms come with a writing pad, water, and a flip chart, and a screen, and a projector.
This is 3,300 square meters of column-free space, right? Secondly, we are located in a shopping mall, which is our biggest selling point. You already have a captive audience close to the venue. So a few flyers at the entrance alert people who are coming into the Sarit that there is an event on the second floor, pass by. And our average footfall at pre-COVID-19 was 21 to 22,000 a day. So you already have 21 to 22,000 people in the center doing their shopping. They can obviously spare 10, 15, 20 minutes to come up for an event. Yeah. Thirdly, we are brand new. We are right next to a food court. There's 3 outlets open: Rokamama, Sugo, and the Takeria Fondas. And I believe the other outlets are in fit out right now. and they shall be opening soon. Also, we are in the process of building a 4-screen multiplex, which is accessed from this level right next to the Sarit Expo, is where people can access the multiplex. Secondly, we are adjacent to a multi-story car park. A multi-story car park with 950 slots of parking right next to the Sarit Expo Centre. On top of that car park, we shall be having a gym. Easy Gym will be opening their new gym here, hopefully once we are out of the COVID-19 issues. We are also opening a trampoline park for the kids, so you can come to the Sarit Expo Centre and you leave your kids at the trampoline park. And also for international exhibitions, there's so many accommodation options around. I think there's more than 10 hotels in less than 2 kilometers of the Sarit.
The foyer is very important in any conference. This is where people flow out to. As you can see, it's big, it's huge, as in it can accommodate a lot of people, and immediately next to it are the great washrooms. I was actually thinking you can do an event in some of these washrooms, considering how big they are.
Yeah, they're quite big. Very clean and big.
Very clean.
And also cater for people who are able differently.
Yeah,
So we don't
differently
call
able.
them Disabled.
Yeah,
We call
differently able.
them-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when immediately opposite is where those washrooms are, but also let's talk about how, as an events person, you can bring in your staff.
So they have an entrance to the halls where you can just drive and offload your event stuff, which is not shared. It's directly for the event people, which is key. That's what we normally look for in venues.
Because that's the biggest challenge. You find you're taking things to 3rd, 4th floor. Then a guy tells you, our lift can't carry your heavy gear. So now the crew is forced to carry things on their back, which is back breaking, which is not. So this one you can actually drive in with your small trucks with a certain headroom.
So if you have a car launch, they have an access area where you can drive in your cars and launch your cars within the hall where your guests are, which is easier than launching in a room, then going out to show people the car. So the car drives in to the room and no one will tell there's a car until you unveil it.
And for creatives among us, because we are creative, instead of just putting the car there stationary, how about the car starts driving all the way from the parking and drives into the launch pad, and then it's unveiled? How many places can do that? Not so many places can do that. Very few places have that. So the reason why they call themselves a city within a city, this convention center, I think I can only liken it to one I saw in Cape Town, Dubai. So in this region, I don't think we have anybody who has this. We would like to show you why we feel Sarit Center Expo is one of the best event venues and a modern one as such. Most of us, when we are setting up, the biggest challenge is to be able to hoist either AV equipment, that's audiovisual, or anything that we want in terms of stage design. So most of the time we are forced to come with our own ladders, which probably might not necessarily work efficiently or reach certain places that we want to reach. So today, I would like to show you why Sarit are the ones. You see, the biggest challenge of any hall, guys, number one is headroom. So headroom is how high the roof is. Because we want to set up our stage design, we want to set up our trussing. And then what they made it possible is that instead of you coming and hooking up your trussing to be able to suspend things, they actually have hooks. So you can suspend your trussing, so there is no need of anchoring it down. And then the entire hall can be partitioned into 3.
Yes,
And most of the time in any convention place or a seminar room, the problem is always the sound of the next conference team interfering with you. Now, these guys, the thickness of the partition is so thick that no sound can actually filter into the next group. So you can comfortably have 3 conferences happening here.
At the same time.
Maybe another one is a concert, and you guys are still okay. And then the entire place is surrounded by exits, so you're able to exit. They have fire hydrants. They have 3-phase power inside. Everywhere within the room, especially now for the people doing exhibitions, you can see they have the power for the booths and even for your laptops during the conference. So you don't need cables running around that will trip your guests. Yeah. Now, something very interesting about this place, the kitchen, and I want you to talk about it.
Well, they have a kitchen where you can hire. You either work with their list of caterers or you bring in your caterer.
My name is Brenda Mokaya. I'm the marketing manager of Sarit Expo Centre. So where we are at Sarit Expo Centre, and I'm taking you to the kitchen, which is right behind our halls. So come with me. Karibuni sana. We have 2 types of kitchens. Mm-hmm. We have one industrial kitchen, and we have another satellite kitchen. So this is the main kitchen. Mm-hmm. This is the main industrial kitchen.
Essence of the kitchen is for me to come and hire when I have an event. Come with my own caterer, or do you have caterers? Do you run the kitchen, or what happens?
So what we have here is you can come in with your own caterer, or we can provide or recommend caterers that can come and cook at this kitchen.
And they have a main kitchen which is big, and a satellite kitchen, which is fully equipped. You don't need to bring any equipment, just bring in your caterer and work from the back.
And you know, because of the nature of the events that we do, most of the time we'll find ourselves rushing into the kitchen to find out why the food is delaying. And you find most of the event venues, like this one, which is not inside the hotel, they always have a challenge. They don't have kitchen. So they will give you a room and tell you, now convert that. Here you do not convert anything, guys.
So yes, now this is our satellite kitchen after you.
Yeah, thank you.
Slightly smaller from the other industrial kitchen. As you can see now we have your burners here. So these are your burners, high left burners, sorry. So this is where you do your soup and everything, you grill your items. This is where you wash your utensils. You can store your utensils here so that they can dry. This is a table, of course, for preparing your food items.
Yeah.
This place is nice. They have everything. They even have a dishwasher, which is very rare. They have places to store your dry foods, your vegetables, cold rooms, store the meats, and of course with all the sanitization and safety protocols that are in place. Then the key thing why they've done all this, you know about food poisoning. The biggest nightmare of any event manager is not having a facility that can be able to make you observe the hygiene standards required to be able to make sure the food is not contaminated. So these guys, I think it's a win. Like we always say in unique venues, what is the one unique thing about this place? The big
kitchen.
The big kitchen?
Yeah.
What food do you like in an event?
Of course, I love good food in an event. So they have a food court which you can also work with them. What I also liked is the changing rooms. They have a backstage. So you can use this hall for a concert. Then you don't need to look for another place for artists to change, or they come change, they're coming from their car. No. They have a changing room where you can hold your artists. They freshen up, they do their makeup, and it also caters for people who are able differently. There's a room where the people who are able differently can change from, which is key. And they have many rooms. So if you have 7 artists, you can have an artist per room.
And the huge mirrors, because at the end of the day, the artist wants to see themselves, once you've done your makeup, just before you hit the stage. And the rooms are located like here, and this is the beginning of the hall. So you just cross straight. So depending on your setup, you can set it up in such a way that the stage is towards that direction. So it's easy for the artist to get out of the backstage into the performance area, perform and disappear. And then still they have an exit that does not, you will not see the artist coming. So they sneaked in, they sat, they are relaxed because they need to zone off into the nini just before the performance. It can also be for security. It can also be for people, the people who are probably in charge of the VIPs that are speaking. So this VIP needs to be hosted somewhere. Let's talk about the green room.
There's a green room. This is where you host your VVIP guests. Let's say a head of state or a president of a company is attending your event. If it's a VVIP or head of state, you need a place to brief them before they come to the event. So this is where you bring your VVIP guests and brief them.
The one thing that people have never understood, why you need to brief someone at that level, a president or either of a country or a president of a company. Guys, when you invite them to your event, do not assume they know about your event. If anything, they are dealing with so much. They are running the country. They are running this multinational. So they will know about your event, but for them to be able to be aligned and to speak about the good things and whatever you want, and them to sound that they actually understand your event, and this is a secret I'm giving, there has to be 1 hour briefing where they sit with you, ask you questions, have a place they can even change. Maybe they've just flown in, they've landed, you've hurriedly picked them at the airport. They're not going to enter into this conference with the clothes that they had, so they can freshen up very quickly, have a cup of coffee or whatever makes them, vibrant. So it's very important when you have a place like that. Most of the time as event managers, we have to create that using a tent. You walk into the city, within a city, Sarit Center Expo, you don't need to do all that. They've already thought that for you. What else did you notice?
For me, what I also find unique about this venue is the way you don't need to think about parking. The parking is enough. You don't need to worry about rain because it's indoors. You don't need to worry about security. But of course, you discuss with the management for security if you need extra security, but it's secure because the selection of an event venue determines the tone of the event. What I also like about this place is you have an exhibitor's room. So what we like as event planners is a place where we can go retreat, even have a power nap.
Power nap is important. We actually, when the event is going on, between us, one of us sneaks to do a power nap because you left this place at 3 a.m. Call time was at 6, meaning you went, freshened up, and came back. And you are there for the client. Once the conference starts and it's going on, we call it, before it begins, it's like a plane. But once it reaches autopilot mode, now we do the power naps in turns. But it's also an operational center where you are coordinating everything, coordinating with the safety teams, coordinating with the guys running the event, coordinating with the venue. So most of the time it's like your operational command center. That's where you keep your staff. And the beauty about it, they are located within even the green room, so it's easy for you to rush, brief your VVIP, interact with them, and store. There are things you store. You have giveaways. You have things that are being used for the conference. Where do you lock them? So obviously they'll give you the key. Don't lose it because you pay for it. So you lock it, and then you go. Conferences will take 3, 4, 5 days. So you need a place you actually sit and relax. What else did we notice about this place?
It's green. I like the way the place is green. They go with they're so environment friendly.
If you want to book this place, the Nini is right here, as you can see. So call them, email them, talk to the marketing team, they'll be able. And sometimes the best thing to do is come and visit, and they will be there. Even now, they will be able to accommodate you and take you around. Then you can visualize, customize, and come up with a creative way, which, of course, sometimes when you're presenting to your client, make sure you involve the venue. These guys are very friendly. They will come and help you in ideation because they're always hosting many events. So you can tell them, I want to host this nature of an event, and you can sit in some of their conference room and actually work from there and come up with a creative way, package it, and the client will see the reason why you're suggesting this place. So from us, from Sarit, until the next venue, subscribe, like, share. Kate Chris YouTube channel, event review, KE, and only the unique venues in our Republic, Kenya. Thank you. See you in the next video.